Hello, my name is Kristofik, and this is my final speech for communications class. Oftentimes, body language is not always thought of as a key part of communication. Well, it really does play a vital role when you're having a conversation with someone or delivering a speech. Body language is huge, and it has a huge part in today's society as well. Body language can say a lot about the speaker. For example, it shows whether or not you're engaged in a conversation, if you're prepared, and it also has the ability to add strength to your verbal messages. When you think of body language, you may think of it as not being an important aspect of delivering a speech, or that people might not even notice body language at all. Well, actually, body language is huge. It can give the speaker significant power. Let's say that a person delivering a speech was somewhat prepared for the speech, but not totally. Yet he or she stood in front of their audience and delivered a confident speech and stood straight up, made eye contact with the audience, and even used a vast amount of hand gestures to elaborate on their speech and make it seem like they know even more what they are talking about. Personally, I am a pro at giving speeches, considering I took Intro to Communications this semester. Body language can make an unprepared speech seem great if you effectively deliver it, and it also has the opportunity to make an amazing speech poor with ineffective body language. For example, standing up on a stage, staring down at your note cards, and not bothering to look up at the audience once. I think that body language needs to be preached more and plays a huge role in effectively delivering a speech. To elaborate more, body language can make or break your presentation or speech. Honestly, it is kind of sad nowadays how poorly there seems to be a lack of great body language with younger kids. It seems like when kids are being raised, they are not always taught that it is respectful to engage and lock eyes with the person you're speaking to, have good posture, and most importantly, be engaged in their conversation with yourself. These 3 points are huge for any type of conversation you may be having with someone. When it comes to delivering a speech, it is easy to get frightened and panic, especially when you're talking to a large audience. The fact of the matter is, whether you're talking to one individual or 1,000, it is very important to treat it as if you were just talking to one person directly. There are a lot of effects body language has on your speech, especially when you're using it correctly. According to tutorialspoint.com, a body language helps the person to be more assertive and assists in putting his or her opinion forward more easily than the others. Positive body language is liked by other people, and hence the person carrying a positive body language gets more attention and favor in any discussion. When delivering a speech, there are also certain elements to pay attention to. For example, looking at your audience, knowing where you are on stage, whether you are portraying a happy or sad message by your body language, your energy level, and how in control you are. Furthermore, bad body language can also have a lot of mishaps when delivering a speech. When you have bad body language, you automatically lose all ethos and, most importantly, your audience's attention. According to speakwithpersuasion.com, some examples of bad body language include turning your back to the audience, moving around too much, or hiding behind a desk. Gesturing also can have a bad influence on your talk. Being too aggressive in your gestures, drumming your fingers, or even biting your nails are also bad examples. It is very important to learn what is bad body language so you know what not to do. It will show the audience that you do not have an idea of what you're talking about, and it makes you look like you're scared. I feel that many people in today's society did not always know what proper body language is. Therefore, they have poor body language and might not even notice it. It is very easy to get distracted with things while you're speaking sometimes. For example, I will be talking to someone or listening to them, and I will start to fidget with my fingers or my jacket strings or whatever may be in my reach, just because I get nervous and frightened. No one is just born with perfect body language as it is. It takes practice to perfect it. Once they get practice and knock off the bad body language, then they will be set. In addition, many people in today's society may question, why is it so important to have good body language in everyday life? Well, the answer is simple. It makes you a more respectable person. Take this into consideration. You're a 23-year-old adult fresh out of college, and you're interviewing for a job. Well, the other person who's interviewing against you is 23 years old as well, and has the same resume as you. But they show up to the interview and look like they just woke up, they aren't making eye contact with the speaker, and they don't look professional and they have bad body posture, and they just don't look like they want to be there. But when you go to your interview, you have great body posture, you make eye contact with your boss, potential boss, and you shake his or her hand, and have good eye contact and show that you're engaged in the conversation. Those little things could be the very difference in your life. And body language is huge, especially when you're interviewing for any job. It is a very important attribute to have to succeed in life. It is such a minor quality to someone, but it really can make a huge difference. In conclusion, body language, as I spoke about, is a very important part in today's society, and it always will be. Body language can leave a major impact on your speeches, and that is a great thing to always remember. We also discussed what body language is, so we know what not to do when we are giving a speech or when we are communicating with someone. And lastly, we discussed the importance of body language. Body language is always going to be a huge part of communication, yet it might not always seem like it, but it is, and it always will be.